All right, my friends, I have actually rolled Connie's quilt down, and I am literally down to the very last 2 rows, and I'm going to be basting down all of the last section of the border. So before I did that, I want to take just a minute and I want to show you the back side of the top of the quilt. You know, I'm talking about pressing today. Pressing, my friends, is so important. It's like half of the battle when it comes to your quilting process, dears. So let's look at what Connie chose to do. She chose to press her seams open, and I am all about that. If you have regular cotton fabric and you have 2 or 3 seams coming together, you really don't have to press them open. I'm always happy when people do that. It's not necessary in this case. You're certainly welcome to press them over to one side, but this will always reduce the bulk, and it makes me super happy. But no matter which way you choose to press it, what I want you to always consider when you get done with the back side of the top of the quilt is to turn it over and do the front of the top of the quilt as well. What can happen is sometimes, kind of frequently actually, I can tell the front hasn't been pressed, and there's a little bit of a lap over, and when she gets ready to go stitching over it, she can cause that to be stitched down, and nobody wants to have that in your quilt. So something to be aware of. Another time to be aware of having pressing your seams open, of course, is when you have a lot of seams coming together, when you have stars, when you have flying geese, when you have a lot of sections coming together and they're causing a really bulky area. I would implore you to consider pressing those open. When we have thick areas and multiple seams, it really does make a huge difference. And sadly, what can happen is she only has a little tiny distance right here. I mean, I can't even get my finger underneath of that. And that's just 2 layers of cotton and a batting that's not very thick. And so she can grab your little section that ends up being very thick, and she can pull on that and distort your quilt, and nobody wants to have that happen. The other thing is, if I find a really thick section of your quilt, I can go into the CAD screen. I can literally maneuver the design away from that, but that's an awful lot of work on me. And yes, it can happen, but it does increase the process. So we want to be careful of that. Of course, if you have any thick fabrics like a t-shirt quilt, like flannels, minkies, fleeces, any of those, I would always encourage you to press those seams open. And even better, let me tell you, if you have a concern, put something down in the comments or call ahead and let's have a discussion. I have my phone number in the description area, and you could call ahead and we could discuss this before bringing the quilt over. I love it when people do that, and we can be able to learn ahead what it is that you're looking for in your quilt, and then there won't be any surprises. So let's talk about that part of it as well. Pop something down in the comments about this quilt or another quilt, about pressing, or any other questions you have, and let's start a discussion. Take a minute to like and subscribe, and let's get this channel out to a few more people. In the meantime, have an amazing sewing day, because I know I will.